Welcome to Driveway Journey. I'm going to show you guys how to refill the washer fluid inside your BMW. For me, I'm using my BMW M2 as an example, but this works on every single BMW. Now, refilling your washer fluid seems like a common sense thing, but there's actually a very important reason why I'm making this video, because the type of fluid you use in your BMW actually matters. Because if you use the wrong fluid, you'll actually cause a lot of damage to your spray nozzles and you'll have to replace the whole entire system. Really, with BMWs, you have two options. The first option is you can use a concentrate like this, and I'll go into how you can actually break down the dilution levels and what amount you should actually use. For me, this is actually not going to be enough, so I'm going to show you guys the second option. Option number two is your cheap old Walmart blue fluid. This stuff you can use in your BMW with no problem. The reason I point this one out is because there's one specific washer fluid that you really cannot use in your BMW, and that is this right here. This is the orange stuff with Rain-X. Rain-X you cannot use inside your BMW. I cannot stress that enough. If you use Rain-X in your BMW, the wax inside it will clog your nozzles and you will destroy the system. Do not do it. The Subaru that is behind my BMW can take whatever. I can use the blue stuff, green stuff, Rain-X, and it's fantastic stuff, but unfortunately BMW just cannot take it. So it has to be either the blue fluid, the cheap stuff that you find on the shelf at Walmart, or the BMW concentrate. So let me get into how you actually dilute it and how much you should actually put into your car, and we're gonna do that right now. Now on my BMW M2, over here on the left side, this is actually where the reservoir is, so that's where you're gonna pour it. On the back of the bottle for the standard washer fluid concentrate for BMW, which I have right here, it'll give you pretty much a whole chart of dilutions to give you a rough idea of how much you should use. In the summertime, you can use a 1:10 ratio of this to distilled water. Around like the fall time, you can get away with like 1:3, and in like the winter, like deep winter, you want to go about 1:1 or 1:2. For me, it's approaching winter, but it's still fall, so I'm gonna go for like a 1:2 ratio of this stuff. Now you can pre-mix it in a container and then pour it in. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna pour this whole container in here, and then I'm gonna fill the distilled water right after it. All right, that's part one. Now let's get the water. I just got this big old bottle from Target, nothing special, just make sure it's distilled water. So again, I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna probably empty out about this much. That should be probably fine. And then the rest, I'll just fill in with the other blue stuff, and that should dilute it just enough to make it through the winter. Now, I did pick the absolute windiest day to do this, so the water's literally like splashing everywhere. Yeah, you can literally see how bad it's going everywhere. I have my battery terminal under there. It's not great. And that about there should be a 1:2 ratio. Ideally, I would close this. Now, the mistake I made is I actually only bought one of those bottles, and I actually have a lot more that can fit in here. So I am going to top it off with some more of the other blue stuff, just to make sure that I don't get the light for low washer fluid every 5 minutes. And here's the blue stuff, your cheap old blue Gatorade. Let's top off with a little bit of this stuff, and we should be good to go. Now that's about all I'm going to put in there, just a little bit. I don't want to dilute too much of the BMW concentrate and distilled water with this stuff. Is it really an issue? No, but I just want to go through the BMW stuff and then fill the rest with this. So that's all I want to add in for now, just to make the light go off the dash and so I can drive it for a little bit longer. And then the other reason too, if you look at this, this is rated for -20 degrees. If you do like a 1:2 ratio, it'll be rated for maybe about like -10-ish degrees. So if I use this stuff solely in here, it'll be better for the winter than the level of concentrate that I have in here right now, which is pretty good for the fall, a nice 1:2 ratio. So that is how you replace the washer fluid inside your BMW. Again, in my case, BMW M2, but it's the same process for everything. Again, it's a straightforward process, but the key thing is use a concentrate or the blue stuff. Do not use Rain-X in your BMW because you will have a repair bill. For context, to replace the nozzle sprayer system in this, it's about $200 to $250 just for the parts, not counting labor. So that should give you guys a rough idea of how much money you would be costing yourself if you use Rain-X. That's all for this one, guys. Leave it a like if you found this helpful. Subscribe if you want more videos from me on Driveway Journey. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.